So we have one of our amazing people. I don't know, Mary Grace, would you like to introduce, please? Introduce Naveed.
Sure, sure, I'm happy to. So happy to have him continue River of Life. And we sent out an email with the points that he'll be covering. So our intention is this week is much more experiential. So you'll get a sense of what he's teaching these young people with the digital storytelling. So thank you so much, Naveed. He flew back in last night. So thank you so much for joining us on this early morning meeting.
Thank you so much, and such a pleasure always to be with wonderful, blessed people as always. And I really enjoyed, and from last couple of days, I have been in a storytelling business, and I was in the Loyola Marymount University where the young people was there. Then I was in the one group who are 40, 50, 30. And here I'm with the very young people in Mastery Circle who are young by heart, who are young by energies. So, but it's a very diverse experience of US, different age groups, different people from different professions. But one thing remains the same: the power of storytelling, the power of listening yourself, and the power what we can amplify to listen ourselves. So let's continue with this, and I hope everybody was in the last session. If anyone who has not joined last time and joining today, is there anybody? Okay, 2 people, 3. Mem, okay. So thank you so much. So I just want to quickly cover what we have shared and through email and what we have done last time during our River of Life deep listening, which we draw on our papers and draw our background, our challenges, hurdles, and then the strategy to cope and whatever you adopted, and then your achievements and where you want to go, the purpose of your life, which is more important and more our human existence, I believe, is based on the purpose. And today we have a time to find out that and move from this situation to another. And I will unfold my storytelling school's work today and how they are coming out from their boundaries, their issues, and how they overcome their storms and become their eagles. And this is an exciting part of our work. But let's start with this and continue with this. And I'm very mindful about the time this time. And let's have a more 20 minutes to listen deeply to our friends, Rivers of Life.
Naveed, I don't know that people are familiar with the 5 steps.
Oh, okay. We sent it by email too.
Right, but that doesn't mean people are familiar with it. Some maybe.
Some maybe. Okay. Because the last time a couple of people have shared with us their River of Life and they understand very well. So can I repeat again? Because I shared my story according to that last time, that what does it means to me, these 5 steps?
Could you, Naveed, could you just, to make it simpler, because not everybody was there last week and some may have forgotten if you could just list 1, 2, 4, tell us now 1 through 5 what they are, and we'll jot them down.
Okay, so we started with the background. The first is the background. Background includes our affiliation or our group. Either it's a religious, it's a social, political. What was the background? Or maybe it was a biggest time of World War II, or something happened when you born and when you are growing. So that was the background, the first point. And the second, while you are growing, because I just share with you, when I was growing, there were challenges. I faced many challenges while I was growing. The hate, intolerance, discrimination, and poverty. And these were the challenges and hurdles I have to move on. And then the strategies I adopt when I was a kid and when I was growing, I adopt uh, to break down through my media skills. Through my university, I found that during the one incident, and that skills, tools, techniques I thought, and it, came to know through the event that I need to adopt that, and this is the best way to counter that situation. So that was my strategy to use and move on. And then my achievements, the fourth thing. So far, a boy from a small village come to the United States in 2016 on a Fulbright scholarship. Then I established my storytelling school in Pakistan. I have a beautiful wife at home, mother. So these are all my achievements in my life. And then where I want to go, what is the purpose of my life? The fifth and last thing. The purpose of my life is not to only build at this time a building. My purpose of life is to build the capacity of the young people. And I will talk more about it during when I will share with you. So this is my purpose. And you can share your. So these are the 5 steps. Background. And yeah, thank you, Mary Grace. Mary Grace just typed it. You can see the inbox too, and you have everything in the inbox. So let's take out like
So
think
everyone,
achieve-
if you check the chat, the 5 points to cover are there.
yes.
I think also achievements was something that Naveed mentioned. Was that a separate category?
Background, people and places, challenges.
Achievements is not listed here, but he did talk about
you-
achievements. So
But
you
you
could,
can
yeah,
include in that as well. This is
Sure.
good.
So, Naveed, do you want to call on people, or do you want me to keep an eye and call on people? How do you want to do this?
I mean, I think Naveed, I heard you say giving people 20 minutes, but I wonder if it might be helpful to have people share their 5 points since they have it in front of them on chat. Just a thought. I don't know what
Yeah.
people want.
Exactly.
You want people to share? Because it looks like Hadi is ready to contribute something. Just an idea.
Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Whoever will be the ready, we will listen. Yes, Adi. Yeah.
Hi, thank you. It's Hadia, and the reason I correct you because I like you. My name is not Hadia, it's Hadia.
Hadia.
Thank you. This is brilliant. I love it, and I appreciate being here. So my background is I was born in a country that's divided in religion. Muslim, Jews, and Christians hate each other. I would love to say don't like each other, but they actually hate each other. So I grew up Catholic. What came at me is that I wasn't good because of the religion I grew up in, and I believing in Jesus. There was something wrong with me. And also my father died when I was 2. And lost my grandfather, who was very generous and kind and built us a home. I lost him when I was 5. So losing the male figures that I loved and cared about in my life at a very young age, so separated me from acceptance. And as a Southwest Asian woman, it's I think in general, women not being seen, not being heard, growing up in my generation. So that's the sum up of the background. So the challenges were, I was a fun, bright child who was outspoken. My grandmother used to say, "You should have been a boy," instead of saying, "Good for you for being an outspoken little girl." Like, Hadia should have been a boy. I was like, I didn't want to be a boy. I liked being a girl. So overcoming not getting silenced. So there's that. And I overcame that by continuing to voice myself. And it still happens. Like, I laugh really loud and I hear people go, "Hadia, shh, shh, shh." And I'm like, okay, this is my laugh. So what happened is, in my life that is meaningful to me right now, I'm a spiritual counselor, life coach, and I attract, most of my clients are young men in their 20s that I love and adore. And not only they're young men in their 20s, they're Republican who love Trump. And I love them, I adore them, and they come to me because they want to learn how to love themselves and how to take care of themselves. And I teach them that because I truly believe when all of us completely, not unconditionally, infinitely love ourselves, we will heal the planet. And these men, I'm so proud of them. Like, some of them are young as 18. They come and they're like, teach me to learn to be good with women, how to attract women in my life. So that's the window. And I don't know why Spirit has put me in that space. And one of the things I think it's because I do love men and I care about them and I have compassion for their challenges, because I have compassion for myself as a woman growing up in a world that didn't accept me as a woman, wanted me to be a guy because I was so open and loud, and I'm still am open and loud. Just, I want to live. And my purpose in life, I would love to teach everybody how to infinitely love themselves completely from the inside, just to be in acceptance. And it doesn't mean they have to be good. Like I tell my clients, if you're angry, be angry. It doesn't mean they have to be good, they have to be perfect. Just be in infinite loving and acceptance of who you are and expression, because we're all needed on this planet. And it's not so radical thinking in this space, but in a lot of spaces, it's radical thinking. So I'm going to mention Hitler. It might trigger some of you, but really think about it. Everybody has a purpose. And I really think good things come out of painful situations. Like when 9/11 happened, it devastated me. I had to fly to New York to figure out what was going on. But what the goodness that came out of it, people came together. We supported each other. It was just amazing and brilliant. Unfortunately, until now on this planet, painful things create goodness. Hopefully it will shift through self-loving, self-caring, self-nurturing. So thank you, and I appreciate the space.
Just in the interest of, we just have the one morning and so many people, how about if we have like a 2-minute reminder? Is that okay, everybody? And I'll keep the time. Thank you, Hedy.
Oh, thank you so much. And love overcome everything, and which is the takeaway from, your discussion and your sharing the river of life. Anybody else, let's move forward.
Tim has his hand up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is a wonderful work, and I love the idea of river of life. So my background, when I was very, very young, my mother got sick and I had to go live with my grandmother, which was a wonderful thing because she lived to 104 and was an absolute crone. And I learned so much from her. I felt love from her. And that made a huge difference. Problem was in that neighborhood when I would go out and I would get beat up by the local kids. Every time I went out, I'd get beat up. I'd walk my little brother, I'd get beat up. So life was not safe, and I had to get strong and in order to survive. I mean, it was a survival thing, and so I trained and got better and better, and I ended up with 5 black belts. And also I was an officer in the Marine Corps, won the All Marine Judo Championship and stuff. It was overcompensation, I realized that, but I kind of had to do it to survive. And some of this I've been just housed in, you don't have to live with what people say you are. I went into engineering, and my calculus instructor called me in one night and said, I don't think you can be an engineer. And it just tore me up. I walked through the streets literally crying in college. And I said, I've got to make it. I got to make it. And I worked hard. I had to work really hard, and I made it. But eventually I became vice president in a top engineering company in charge of 600 people. And so you don't have to cave into what they say. You know, you have to believe in yourself. And I'll just say one more. I was learning how to fly. My father was a pilot. And my flight instructor said, you know, you're just not getting it. You can't land this airplane. I don't know what to do. And I thought, well, maybe I'll quit flying. And then I went, wait a second. I'm going to fire him and get another flight instructor. And I did. And this other flight instructor wasn't so negative. He was really good. I ended up flying airplanes. I ended up flying them aerobatically, doing loops and all of that. I ended up flying helicopters. It just went, I learned for myself that you can do it. You don't have to be stuck with other people's opinions. Where am I now? I'm interested in enlightenment. I'm interested in helping people and stopping suffering. And I help Linda down at Homeboys. And I've kind of gone from the little self, which was fighting to stay alive and all those accomplishments, now to something much wider, which is to being of service.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your river of life. Yes, move on. Next one. Yes, please. Anyone else? Yes, Paul.
All right. So I was born in England, and just after World War II, my father was repaired bombers that went to Germany. And we moved to America when I was 5. And I was the oldest son of the oldest son of the oldest son, and a very treasured position to be in England. But when I came to America, this was prior to the Beatles, of course, I had an accent and I was harassed and not accepted, seen as a English snob, if you will. And it was very hard. I was isolated. I wasn't bullied because I'm kind of big and people didn't challenge me that way, but I became isolated. And so like many, like Tim, I found my way in corporate America. And I became a turnaround artist in a manufacturing company. And what I learned in doing that is to listen to people, to accept them for who they are. People out in the factory, people were trying to survive in their life. I'll never forget this moment. I'm in the cafeteria and there's a guy wanted to share his sandwich with me, and I said, "Well, what's in it?" He says, "Well, it's a squirrel sandwich." I kind of went, "Okay." I'm in the South now, and so I traveled around different parts of the country, and how did I overcome this? Is through study and reading, and I went to a personal development course and realized that I had a lot to offer, which, after being not accepted as a young boy in elementary school, was a big insight. And so my purpose now is to, help people see what I call their natural genius. What is the natural things that are God-given? Learn what they are. We all have some special abilities. And so I help my clients discover those and then apply them to their life. And that's my purpose, is to help people find their beauty and apply it to their life. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Mac has his hand up, Naveed.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be able to participate. I grew up at a time when life was beautiful and peaceful, growing up in the Cameroons. And I grew up a Christian boy around the church with all these missionary reverend fathers from, Poland, Irish priests, English priests, and we were always around the church compound. And I think my relationship with the priests and the reverend sisters planted in me a deep feeling of wanting to serve people. There was no religious discrimination growing up. You belong to your church, you belong to your religion, and it was beautiful until I moved over to Nigeria. And so much division, the Christians and the Muslims. And you hear all these unpleasant stories of, oh, you're a Christian, don't come around here. Oh, you are Muslim, you should not come here. The division and the pain was strong in me because I grew up in an atmosphere of religious acceptance, religious love until Nigeria. And you see all the stories of, oh, this girl was burnt alive because she's Christian, and she said something the Muslims think are offensive. And so it created in me that feeling of wanting to teach people that we are all one people, no matter what we believe in, whether we are Christians or Jews or Buddhists or Muslims. And I just tried in any way possible to talk about this acceptance of one another. And like you, Naveed, I am grateful that I have the opportunity to use media and to give people, different people, opportunities on that platform to speak about love, to speak about unity, oneness, togetherness, acceptance of one another. I have had challenges, even in Christianity in this country, amongst the Christians. Oh, you belong to this religion. Oh, you belong to this denomination. Oh, you belong to this church. And, we try to give people that opportunity to understand that what you believe, as long as it makes you a good person, accept the other people. So my purpose is to use media, whether it is print or the electronic media, to teach love and acceptance of one another, to preach about compassion. It hurts me when I see young people being kidnapped by people of another religion and being brutalized just because they believe in religion that should make us love one another. So my main purpose is to use whatever opportunity I have to teach love, to teach compassion, to bring to people's minds that, look, it doesn't give you joy when other people suffer. And I call on everyone to use my platform, whatever it is, print or TV or radio. Let's continue to teach that love. And that's my purpose, to give people an avenue to teach love, to show love, to live compassion, because that is what makes the world beautiful. I think I should keep it here for others to speak.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your heart and sharing your purpose in River of Life. We are one. And through storytelling, we learn this. No religion, no background, no region, no caste and creed, no race, but we are one. And this is how we empathize, compassionate, and love each other and cross the bridges. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes. Let's move on to
Mary has her hand up.
Yes, please.
You're muted, Mary.
Hi, everybody. I was born in Berkeley, California, after my parents had lost a child. They lost a son before me, which very much affected them and very much colored their relationship and their feelings towards us other kids that they had afterwards. They really kept trying to have a boy, and I kept trying to be a boy for them because I knew they wanted a boy. But anyway, my parents were very bright. They met at Stanford. They were both very, very bright people, and they cared tremendously about education. So our whole emphasis as children was do really well in school, get A's, do really well in school. You're smart, use your brain. And so I decided to do that. And I got straight A's all through school because I wanted to make my parents happy. And also because I loved school. I really loved school. I enjoyed it so much. I looked forward to September every year after the end of summer vacation to go back to school and learn again and meet my new teachers and see kids and everything. I just loved it. I'm like in Harry Potter, Hermione, you know, the little girl. Whenever the teacher asks a question, she's like, I know. That was me. So I studied and I tried hard and I got A's all through school. And I felt that since I had met their demands, which was to do well in school, and I did, that I could do whatever I wanted. And that's how I lived my life, is I fulfilled their needs, and that way I could fulfill my own. I've always been extremely positive, extremely outgoing, extremely buoyant. I'm a very buoyant, happy, upbeat person, and that's just part of my personality. I didn't do anything to get that. It just happened. And so I've been drawn towards the performing arts, singing, dancing, performing, you know, to channel my exuberance to the world. I'm a good communicator. I can write really well. I can speak well. I can sing. And so at various times in my life, I have literally prayed to God, I can say whatever you want me to say. Tell me what you want me to say. Tell me what you want me to do, because I'm here to do it. And I'm a channel and I'm a voice. And at several times in my life, I felt that I was right on the path of what I was supposed to be doing in terms of my using my gifts and channeling, you know, uplifting, inspirational material, things like that. Some of my books fulfilled that need, and some of my plays that I've been in and written. So I continue in that vein. And that's about it. I mean, I sometimes I'm too much. People think I'm a little too much. You know, it's like, give it a rest, quiet down a little. And so I work on that too, because I know I don't have to be selling it all the time. But I did feel I had to be that way in my family. I did feel that my job was to try to cheer up my parents because they were very sad and very depressed all my life about the loss of that first child. And it colored their relationship for sure. So I would dance and sing and tell jokes and do anything I could think of. So, ho.
Thank you so much. And let's Pamela is there to share with her river of life. Yes, please. You are mute.
What a beautiful group this is. Wonderful. I don't want to spend too much on my past. I want to spend more on now and the future. And I was moved by Mac Davis and what he's saying, and I'm pretty much in a similar area, Mac, and you'll hear it. My parents got divorced when I was 5. My father kidnapped me. He got custody because my mother did not do the right thing that the judge said she should do. They're both wonderful people. And my father we were in debt for decades. So I was brought up in debt, and so I had like 30 different jobs. I mean, I had so many, I was one of the first taxi drivers in New York. I bred hamsters and sold them and so forth and so on. Okay. We kept moving around because my father was getting better jobs. So move. So I got used to meeting new people and so forth like that. Challenges and hurdles. That's it. Okay. Generally, I've had a lot of energy, good health. Both parents had good health. I inherited that. I'm very grateful because I need it with everything I'm up to. And strategies for overcoming the word connection is very strong right now. My background was Russian, Polish, Jewish. My father's family was, my mother's family was Russian. My father's family was Polish. They both came into America at the same time. Okay. And I went a little bit to Hebrew school, and my father was an entertainment director to make people happy, for them to smile in the hospitals, mental hospitals, physical hospitals. And I went with him sometimes, and that was really nice. I thought that's nice to help people, and like that, I like that a lot. Diary of Anne Frank. I was actually sent to New York City to possibly do the movie of Diary of Anne Frank. I guess I looked like her or something at that time. Now, why am I mentioning this Jewish thing? It's because I went with Rama Vernon, who has since passed away, to Russia, and then after that to the Middle East for peace. And I was with a group who wanted to make peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And to my horror, I witnessed what the Israelis were doing to the Palestinians. In retrospect, I don't know why the Palestinians never got their own country. They should have simply had their own country and not be always on somebody else's land, supposedly. Anyway, it distressed me beyond deeply. And so talking about, I mean, why do religions hate each other? Why are some people afraid of each other? Why all of this stuff? And we're on this earth for, I don't know, 100 years maybe, or less or more. And let's have fun and let's enjoy each other. Let's have love. Let's help each other. Let's connect. So I hear a little voice. It says lately, perform. But one of the themes is going to be connection. And laughter is a miracle. And some animals even laugh. And laughter connects to people no matter whether they don't know each other, they hate each other. They could be different religions and they laugh, and maybe there's a moment they connect. So I'm working with all of this now, not to tell jokes, but for connection. So I don't know if I'm going to be on stage and be a Palestinian 1 minute and Israeli another. I think that would be a very challenging thing, but maybe I could be a lion 1 minute and a snake another minute, and then see what the two of them do to get together. So that's that. So I'm up to performing with connection to lift up the human spirit with joy and laughter, no matter who these people are, what they believe, and all of that. There are moments we all can get together and hug each other, actually, or physically, or spiritually, or like that. And Naveed, I'd like to ask you, what do you do when you're around two enemies, or you're around one side that is totally afraid of the other side? With all your wisdom, I really would like to hear that from you. Thank you. Hope.
Thank you so much. And my energies and my strategies are always me, and who overcome the situation and nobody else can do it. And it's the mindset of being overcome. And that's what I always talk about. Be an eagle in your storms. Storms are the part of your life, and we have to be move on. And the best person can do for you is you. So most of the time we have been in our lows, and it's okay to be in your low points and at your sad, but still every day is a new day. So I take every day is a new opportunity to move on. And this is what I every day do. And it's everyday struggle. It's a everyday, a new challenges in our life. But I take it as a challenge in life to overcome. And that's how I do. So we have a couple of minutes again, and then I will close it. If anybody is maybe a one person can share with us, and then we will move the end of our river of life.
Amy had her hand up.
Okay, please, Amy.
Okay. I believe I was conceived right after the John F. Kennedy assassination. And I think that was very impactful on my life, because I think that I was born around a lot of sorrow, and I came in to be just joy and light. And I was just this really like electric towhead, white hair child. And I wanted to be everybody's friend. I would go knock on strangers' doors and just say, hi, do you have anybody to play with? But I was raised Mormon, and I was not to be really seen or heard. And girls don't really have a bright future to be what they wanted to be. But I knew at 5, I heard the voice of something inside of me say I wouldn't be Mormon, because I didn't like the way that they judged and outcasted people. And I was never one to leave anybody out of a circle. I thought that was the worst thing you could do, to not include people. My grandmother basically raised me. My mother's mother, I was named after her. And I lived most of my childhood. I had a lot of trauma that no one knew was happening, like bad trauma that no one knew. And I just kept it to myself, saying that God must be saving me for something when I get older. And that way I will never hurt anybody, because I know what it's like to be hurt. So my purpose in life is to ease suffering, and always has been, through making sure that people didn't feel left out, making sure that my light was bright enough. I wanted to sing when I was 5. I moved to Los Angeles at 25 to act on my own, not knowing one other person in the city. And I did that. I've heard the voice of God in my life, literally on an airplane. And my achievements, I still feel like my achievement is to know myself. And I feel that this group in the past year has helped me solidify my story by giving me a way to actually learn to speak without being interrupted, and that I'm valued enough to share my story. And it's life-changing, and I look forward to actually letting my purpose come to life, where I can help ease suffering in many areas. So thank you, Naveed.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everyone. And I'm so loving it. It's so I'm so blessed to be part of so many experiences, so many people around me. I'm feeling a great energy. And the purpose of River of Life is to not only to share, but to celebrate journeys of our life. And everybody has a different journey, and everybody has different achievements. But one thing today we have a common, that we gone through this storms in our life, and we overcome as an eagle. This is a time for us. And if, many people have not shared with us, and it's okay. But the best thing is you share with yourself. Most of the time, we even not sharing with ourselves what's going on in. side. What's going on? And this is the beautiful part of River of Life when you shared with yourself. And yes, I know when you share it with yourself, it creates a momentum and it creates a new beginning, a new season that, yes, I want to be in my life. I want to achieve my purpose of life. This is what we really want to do is. And this is the time, this is a season from River of Life to rewrite your story as the hero. All the happening which happened in the past, they try to make you a victim, but from that stage, take it that victim mentality and not moving on, and then you have a hero in your life. So this is the mindset I want to share in the River of Life, and I will talk more about it. How we in Pakistan breaking the cycle of the poverty, which is 40%, and working with 97% of the young people from the diverse background, from the marginalized communities, from the extremist mindset, and who are ready to go out. So we are going not to build a building, which we'll talk about. You are all invited in our event, but we are building the capacity. We are building the capacity through storytelling, through digital storytelling, to touch more hearts, to bring peace, capacity to build, to touch the world, not in the Pakistan, but through our story around the world, and move people and shift people from one point to another. Thank you so much for your time. And I wish you a very best of luck with your River of Life in future. And you continue to celebrate, overcome your storms in life. Thank you so much. If you have any question, any comment, you can share with us.
Thank you, Naveed. Wow, this has been beautiful. The common themes and threads of our lives. Oh, wow, very touching. Thank you so much.